somehow something wrong with you. How is it that we are actually encouraging men to be wholesome citizens and members of society? If damned if you do and damned if you don't. The situation is so volatile right now is that you can't trust this kind of information for anything else but complete utter sensationalism. Now, I had mentioned earlier is made aware of on my YouTube channel. Do we need men? This is based on a TikTok debate that's taking place right now, and usually I don't really visit TikTok that often, but it was brought to my attention actually on YouTube by another set of YouTubers. I'm going to link their opinions in the description, but I just want to get a little bit into this video because it was
Quickly,
disturbing.
no. And only one said she thought women needed a man in their lives, only one. But when men were asked a similar question, do we need women, most of them said yes. So why?
I think the reason why men say yes is because they function from a place of wholetality, as a totality, and they understand the importance of communities. Unlike women who just really get up in their feelings about things and don't really understand the spaces of men and what their contribution is to the whole civilization that they are accustomed to and are made comfortable by. Like, look at this chair and table and set and view, and I mean view. All of what is being set up here was designed by a man. I would guarantee money 85% of this whole setup here was designed and created and built by male dominated spaces, and not because for women's lack of trying. Women are just not interested in these kinds of things, but they all make our lives very, very comfortable. Let's move on. I'm not going to get into the technicalities and nitpick just
Do
yet.
you think that is?
Because men are useless. I mean, and by the way, I want to differentiate between straight men and gay men, because I think I would die without gay men. Nobody can gossip like gay men. Nobody can help you accessorize like gay men. Nobody can help you keep you from doing harm to yourself like gay men. But with the exception of somebody like Steve, I think Steve is very self-sufficient.
That's Joy's husband.
But like,
I mean, just because her husband is useless, like, we're not going to get into her, but her comment was the most viral part of this video because of what she said. Like, I don't think that she has any great concept of how her life runs because of men. Let's move on though, because like that's just too much to unpack. Like, we're gonna have to.
My husband, it takes a village of women to make sure that he's not emaciated, starving, and living in his own filth. He can, you know.
Yeah.
How about you guys? But I feel you guys are married to people that are more.
I have Handy Manny at home. No, he fixes everything. When things go bump in the night, he's the one that goes downstairs. When there's a bug to be exterminated, he does the extermination.
Nope.
When there is something to be fixed, he fixes it. He throws out the
Wow. Why are you shaking your head, broski? This woman here, I think I think she's jealous. I think she's a little bit of a hater, but honestly, sis really made a great point because I think she's living in a more a more realistic perspective where she understands exactly that women are just not willing to do certain things, and we have to make sure that we are very, very much aware that we're not going to be picking up the slack that men are going to drop off if we continue on this pattern and pathway of we don't really care and we don't really need men because they're useless. Like, she understands the usefulness of her husband. This woman's part I'm going to skip just because I can't even believe that YouTube allowed for this video to be up with the things that she was saying, because if the situation were reversed and she
Wait
was
till
a
you're
man
married
saying
20
the
years
things
and
that
you'll
she
see how
said,
replaceable
Well, the reason that
She wouldn't
women,
be canceled.
I think that the reason women can stay married for as long as they do is because they have a lot of girlfriends.
They have a village.
They have girlfriends. Because I always have to initiate the conversations. He'll step up, but I have
I
to
thought you were going to
start
say
them.
initiate.
Oh, I don't-
was like, no,
I just
don't
told
have
you
to
guys,
say
I
that.
have 8 girlfriends from Panama here who are girlfriends for 50 years since they were in kindergarten.
Oh, I love
And it's
that.
that, And they were saying yesterday that they've gone through divorces, they've gone through challenges, and having that village of women has made it possible.
Well, we
for
are
them.
more collaborative than men. I think
Yeah.
there have been studies that say that women have much closer friendship relationships than men do.
Because women
Again, I
have
think we have to make a
because
difference,
women,
differentiate gay men.
No, gay men are
in their own category.
yeah, but we're
Women
not
are
married to gay
independent.
men, okay?
Oh,
But
Some people are.
women have conversations about their feelings. Men talk about
It's
sports,
socializing, yeah.
cars, all that stuff.
I don't know. My husband talks about his feelings with his
Maybe he's
friends.
gay. Next.
Wow. I mean, seriously, guys. Like, seriously, is this... You can't win. You can't friggin' win.
So, I mean, there was definitely a part in the video where the woman who was defending the right and the need for men in society was talking about how her husband is different and that not all men, I mean, I'm just paraphrasing here, but she was leaning towards saying something like her husband is in touch with his feelings and he talks about his feelings. And then the other panelists started saying that, well, maybe it's because he's gay. Tell men that they need to be better by being more in touch with their feelings. But the minute that they start to do that, then they are suddenly considered gay. But then you want gay men because they're easier to deal with or fall more in line with what it is you need in a relationship. Yet it's not okay to be gay because when you are gay, you are somehow there's somehow something wrong with you. How is it that we are actually encouraging men to be wholesome citizens and members of society? If damned if you do and damned if you don't. The situation is so volatile right now is that you can't trust this kind of information for anything else but complete utter sensationalism. Now, I had mentioned earlier in this video that I think that the reason why they went to TikTok is because people on TikTok are just doing what they have to do the way they will have to do it. And you can't really trust TikTok as a real census, but it makes for great content and for great stirring up. But when you're judging from a perspective of real hard evidence that promotes and pushes one agenda or the other, you want to make sure that you do your facts and your research and do your due diligence. That's my mantra on my channel, is that you just can't come up with these ideas and push for one end of the pendulum or the other just for attention. I think that people in these spaces need to start to be a little bit more responsible about the kind of content that they present to their public, because this seems to me like a lot of irresponsible journalism and it's misandry. If these were a bunch of men talking about their wives in this manner and fashion, they would be canceled like immediately. And I'm very much interested because some of the YouTubers that brought this to my attention, some of the guys that I've subscribed to, made some very valid points that I'm going to add to this video just so
because men are useless.
No, it's because you asked that question on TikTok, and half the users on TikTok are retarded. That's why. How y'all gonna say because men are useless? Meanwhile, like, you're on a set designed by men with equipment made by men, with a whole television set invented by men. Like, all this shit. Like, if you look at the production crew for this, I guarantee you 95% of them are men. All the technical stuff, vast majority of them are going to be men. But then they'll say men are useless.
I know the producer of that show is a man.
How do you know?
I know. I think I've seen him.
Brian Teta.
That's what I'm saying, though.
Is that they can never be happy within themselves. They can never be true within themselves because they're at a constant battle between what they've been brainwashed into believing is strength and what they are biologically inclined to do. So they're never happy to be a supporter and a helpmeet to a man. And within that, because of their emotional capabilities, they'll never seek accountability. Like this woman right here. You're complaining about the man that you chose because of your razor demon-like tongue. The man is probably done. He's in a stage or a situation of happy wife, happy life, and he wants nothing more to do with you as he continues to allow you to berate and beat him down from the man that he once was. But when you listen to the words that they say, you begin to uncover the unhappiness that exists within their world. Self-deletion. This one talked about how talking to gay men save her from self-deletion. What? If men are useless, then you, ma'am, are trash.
this is what misandry looks like. It is the female definition of misogyny. And we have to be very careful that we're not pitting one set of people against the other, because that's not how communities, societies, and civilizations are built. That's how they're being teared down as we speak right now. And I, for one, will be damned if I am caught in these kinds of circles supporting these kinds of ideologies. We absolutely need men. And if these people are so brain dead to not even think and consider of how we need men, then they need to get their microphones turned off, because, but too much to be said. Let's stay focused on the fact that this was a debate survey taken from TikTok, which has a target audience of people within a special age and demographic, and those people in those age and demographic think this way, which, in my opinion, is very irrational and impractical and can't be taken seriously, because they don't know how things run, how worlds are run, and how civilizations function and are put together, and therefore I would not be trying to have any kinds of debates with people like this. Anyways, thank you guys so much for stopping by. I hope to see you in the next one, and peace.